and strum. And so if you are just joining this sequence, this is the sequence for Sahasrara. And in the year of you, we've been working our way through the whole body, from the base body all the way up towards the crown of the head. And right now we are at the top of the head, the 1,000-petaled lotus. And so it's at this space that we can begin to realize that we have two types of thoughts. That we have a lower thought, which is sort of the day-to-day, and we interact with ourselves with that lower thought, and you can imagine that the lower thought has also a particular voice, a particular influence. It's the one you sort of pass by the mirror and you check and you think, is my shirt on right? How do these pants look? Am I on time? What needs to get done? It's the day-to-day practical thinking. And we can assume and go through much of our lives imagining that that day-to-day thinking is all that we have and all that we are. And instead, this practice in particular is giving us the opportunity to feel for ourselves that there is another way of thinking, that there's a higher thought. And the higher thought is the one that says, I am so fully loved and accepted in every moment. I am connected to the day and the season and the space that I'm in. That there is no dislocation or fragmentation. I am not distracted, but I am present. And that place of higher thought is a salvation when our lower thoughts really get racing, when we're worried, when we're lying in bed concerned about the day ahead or decisions we need to make or things that might happen. When we can connect to that larger experience of our thoughts and the way in which our thoughts support us and the way in which our thoughts are a shelter, not a punishment, not something to escape, but really on our side. Now we're at Sahasrara. Thoughts that reunite us with something larger. So if you have your oils, even if you have the So Botanical oil that we've been getting on Sundays, you can put it at the forehead center, the crown of the head, the base of the skull, and the base of the spine, just as we did for Ashna. They are connected. They are one. So we're making this great, like a headdress, and allowing these plant oils to work with us, just as you would take a vitamin to help your body. We take these oils to help our thoughts, to help our energy. We tune in, asking for guidance and bowing to the most mystical and magical and marvelous aspect of ourselves. May it show up and hold us clearly and fully. And may we trust this. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times, breathing in. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. And roll your shoulders and roll your wrists. And we begin from there. So hands and knees. If you like, your blanket underneath your knees, padding your knees and your shins, especially if your ankles are tight, gives it a little bit of height. The heels of your hands are directly under the front shoulder head, and tuck of the chin round your back. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And you may start slowly noticing through the spine where it's sticky, where it's caught. And as it starts to open up, the tail drops, the head drops, the upper back opens. And then the navel drops, the throat opens, the head lifts. You just start building a little bit of heat and mobility through your body. And you'll keep it going right there. Turn your left thumb to the front. You may work there, drawing your hands apart as you can. Or turn your left thumb left, turn your fingertips towards your thighs. We just go for 10 times. And feel the weight of your body in the heel of your hand, the length of your fingers, up through the forearms, the shoulders, the throat, and down the left side of your spine. Turn your left fingers forward, turn your right thumb forward, and your right fingers right. And try to draw your hands apart, and this will open the upper back. Keep the movement in the spine. And then turn your right thumb right again, and turn your right fingers back towards your knee. Heels of your hands are in one line. Fingers are long. Weight is in the heel of your hand and then into the balls of your hand, the base of your fingers. 5. Good. And turn your fingers forward, toes together, fold back. Wag your tail. And then drum your fingers to release the wrists. Walk your fingertips forward a ½ inch, your hips back and down a ½ inch, and just fold inside your thighs. Let me just start in the physical body, feeling better. Hands and knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Walk out your dog, wag your tail. Hips side to side, loosening. And then stepping your right foot up inside your right hand. And come up a moment, come a little forward and come a little back, and feel how your hips can move. Shake out the hands. And as you come forward, fit your knee into your armpit. If you need to, you can put blocks under your hands. And then a little forward and a little back with your hips, just as we did. And as you come forward, draw your heart forward. And as you draw your heart forward, draw your gaze forward. Feeling the throat become long, feeling a change even through the palate, the roof of your mouth. Your fingertips are wide, your knee into your shoulder, and your left hip wraps a little bit forward. And step back to change. Walk out your dog. Pressing the right hand, right hip, right heel to find that line. And step your left foot up. Inside your left thumb. Right knee down, let yourself come up, let yourself go forward and back. So your back toes are tucked under, and you're shifting from your front heel to your back toes, opening through the pelvis. And then taking your left armpit in front of your left kneecap. Your hips keep moving. And your arms are wide and your heart comes forward. Keep drawing your heart forward. Keep broadening through the front surface of your body. and step back. Aware of your left hand, left hip, and left heel. Keep the right side soft as the left side lengthens. And from those very simple movements, you become a little more dynamic. Fold your blanket in half, step forward, sitting down, knees are bent, toes turn up. Fold your fingers in, turn your thumbs up, and as you split your hands, draw your heart forward, hands back together, rowing back. So inhale, exhale, as though you were climbing a rope. And you're using the heels on the floor to draw your navel forward and drive your navel back. You're using your hands to open through the chest and the shoulder. And then perhaps close your eyes. We just go 10 more times. Good. And sitting tall, widen your heels out to the side. Knees shake out, toes shake out, and your hands go wide, sitting tall. Sweep a little bit side to side, opening through the side of the waist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, change. So that from your outer hip, through the side of the rib, through the side of the shoulder, and actually along the sides of the spine, you're getting longer. We're going to take that length and reach your right hand towards your left heel, and then back up through the center. So if that's a big reach, put your hands on either side of your shin, rise up, hands wide, and fold from side to side, giving yourself some support. And as you get into the posture, and as the posture begins to open, then you begin to take the inside hand a little further forward, the outside hand a little further back. And maybe you don't use the back hand for 10. Two, good, and one. A little bend in your knees, your heels down. Feeling through the chest and the spine and the hands that you're growing stronger and clearer. Interlace your fingers, take a great sweep, as though you were stirring a pot. And you are exploring the inner and outer thigh, the hamstring, the navel, the shoulders. And reverse your direction. Just stirring up our energy and moving in ways we likely haven't been moving, so that we're activating other aspects of our bodies, which is this huge movement of energy into new aspects, which creates new connections, new perspectives. 2 and 1. Pause to all notice. We can begin to rejuvenate ourselves. That as our physical body opens and awakens and we feel differently inside, we're starting to access higher frequency thoughts. Come to lie on your back. Knees are bent, feet are flat. Bring your blocks with you, please. And so lying down, lift your hips and put your blocks on their bellies. They are flat. That's their lowest setting. And bring their sides together underneath your low back so that your shoulders are low. There's a little arch to your back and you're resting the backs of your hips on the blocks. Feet are flat. Palms are flat. On your inhale, right hand reaches overhead. Press the left hand down. Reach out. Stay a breath. Allowing the right side lung to inflate right up to the collarbones. And then it comes down. And the left hand overhead. Stay a breath, and you're inflating the left side lung a little higher. And down. So you may repeat that or lift your hips and set the blocks on their edge. And then right hand overhead and give it a breath. And now the breath coming even higher into the sides of the lungs. Lengthening out through the low belly. And the right hand down. And the left hand overhead. And it's so simple. Letting the back of your hand be heavy. Letting the left shoulder drop into the floor. A little arch in the left side back. But it's changing us. And hand down. You may repeat at that height, or you may stand your blocks on their tails, palms down last time, right hand overhead. And it takes a breath. Let your right heel be heavy. And let the heaviness of your heel open through the front of your right hip and your right shoulder to the floor. And the right hand down. Left hand overhead, standing heavily in your left heel. The left hip opens. And from the left hip, the left ribs, the left shoulder, the left hand is heavy. And then bringing your left hand down. Lift your hips. Remove the blocks entirely. And as you lie to the floor, notice the whole front surface of your body. That all of a sudden, this access into ourselves is what allows our mind to change. Bring your knees to your chest, keep them wide, shake out your feet, wag your tail. And come right up onto your feet. Bring your palms together at the center of your chest as you find a little bit of a squat. And as you stand up, left hand holds your right wrist, go up and over to the left. And then bring your palms together, find that little bit of a squat. The right hand holds the left wrist, go up over to the right. Sit it down, exhaling. Left holds right, inhaling. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, right holds left. Exhale, down the middle. So deepening your squat. Listen to your ankles, your knees, your hips. And go one more. All the way down. Good. Come to stand with your arms wide. Make fists. Pull your thumbs out. Open your palms, keep your fingers folded in little forward circles. Long, deep breathing. Hug your heels towards each other. Little forward circles. Deep breathing. Feel the strength from your navel to your feet plug into the ground. Feel the little forward circles beginning to move the energy of the heart. The space around the heart, front, back, left, right, all the way into your knuckles. clearing your lungs. Good. Turn your thumbs up, turn your thumbs back. Now your palms are open, little forward circles. Little forward circles, opening through the elbows. The collarbones, the root of your tongue, go 5. 4, opening through the navel. Heels are heavy, thighs are back, arms are long. 3. Little forward circles, clear out the lungs and the heart. 2. And letting go, shake it out, let it down, notice. Such a wonderful means of beginning. If that's all the time you have, that is a fantastic way to set yourself out into the day. Going on, come to sit down. Set your blanket aside, set your strap aside for now. And as you build your seat, heels may be in or heels may be under the knees, right? Entirely up to you. Palms face your ribs, turning left, turning right. And this is really where the Kriya begins, where the activation of the energy, now that we're prepared, we can settle in. So closing your eyes, just following my instructions. You may work there if you have shoulder issues, or bring the thumbs to the shoulders, palms down, in, left, out, right. You may turn the palms forward, thumbs down, elbows wide. Heart high, chin lightly in. Inhale left, exhale right. And the full posture, interlaced fingers at the base of the skull, thumbs point down, elbows wide. And we're going to be steady here 2 more minutes. In left, out right. So it's not athletic, it's not forceful, it's consistent. Keeping the heart high, so the spine is upright. If you need to adjust where your hands are, any tension in the shoulders may bow you forward. So that's why we had those options of where to put your hands. If needed, hands face down, thumbs at the shoulders. And that can help to keep the chest high. 30 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2. Find center, inhale, and then 3 more sips. Heart up, chin in, lift the pelvic floor and draw your attention right up through the body to the navel, to the heart, to the throat, to the midbrain, right to the top of your head. And then lifting your chin, release your hands, breathing out, set it down. Feeling the sensation in the brain, in the crown of the head, throughout the body. And if you need to, shake out your legs. You're building a quality of quiet. You're building a consistency. Changing your thoughts. And so the legs recross. If needed, you can be on a chair. Take your strap, place it behind you. Hands are wide, heart is high. And on your exhale, fold down. Inhale up. And I'll show you the modification just in case. Hands on thighs. So the shoulders are broad. The chest is coming through. Even if it's a small movement like this, elbows back, heart forward. Exhale, fold, inhale, rise. So continuing on the same way. If you're holding the strap, inhaling as you come up, exhaling as you fold. Just a minute more. Three, and two, and one. As you release the strap, hands on thighs, eyes closed, notice. And in particular, notice the back of the neck and the way that the crown of the head may feel higher or lighter. That moving in this way removes the congestion of chronically rounding forward. And as we sit up tall, we start to feel how tall we are internally, how regal we are. Chest is broad, body full and quiet. Setting your strap aside, setting your blanket aside so that you can sit with your feet forward. Turn your fingertips to point your hips and wrap your elbows in, keeping your chest high. So again, elbows bend, widen them out, and then gather them in and up. On your inhale, let your hips rise and come a little forward. And on your exhale, sit your hips down. So inhaling up and a little forward into the feet, and exhaling, sitting down. Inhaling up, a little forward, and down. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Now you can work just like this or close your mouth. Little exhales out the nose, breath of fire for 1 minute. Three, 2. And sitting down, legs long, hands on thighs. Notice. Feel the top of your head. Feel the soles of your feet. And the upright quality of your spine. Chest is broad. You have a higher mind. And in this higher mind is complete understanding that you are loved, accepted, held, and whole. And the more familiar we get with this space, the more potent it becomes. The more familiar it becomes. Just bring it back into the physical body. Bend your knees and bring yourself right to a standing position. Hands out in front. A bend of the knees, your tail goes back, your knees are over your heels, and up. Exhale as you come down. Inhale as you come up. So there's no hurry here. The next 3 movements are this very, very consistent, steady movement, steady breath. Maybe that's where you go. If you like, you can take your squat heels all the way down to your heels. We go 16 more right here. We're finding a consistency, and you're looking for those moments when you might drift away a little bit and you come back in, following the body all the way into the feet, following the breath all the way into the chest. And we become so remarkably consistent. I will squat, and I do squat. Even when our lower mind scoots around and thinks about other things or what we need to be doing instead, we just become absolutely powerful internally. 5. Two. 1 more. And stand. Feel the presence of really standing your ground. Now there's going to be an upheaval. When you stop the physical body, that current is going to carry on. There's going to be a turmoil. You breathe it in deeply. Breathe it right out through your feet. And you let it pass over you, that you become unshakable. And you start to reside more often in that higher thought, less reactive. Knees soft, fold your hands down your thighs. Knees soft, unfold, sweep wide, reach up, inhaling, and then exhaling, folding down. So the knees as bent as they need to be, completely adapt to the necessities of your body. The full Kriya, the hands go forward, the legs are straight, and inhale back up. So classically, that would be how it's offered. If that feels right for you, that's yours. If your low back is tender at all, use your hands up and down the backs of your thighs. Sweeping and folding is the most important aspect. So 16 from here. Always adapting as necessary. As you're ready, eyes close. Just seeing the simplest of movements all the way through. For 2. Sweep your arms wide and down. Take your time, notice. Stand your ground from navel to heel. And expand from the heart and the head. Shake out your feet. Feet a little wider, knees a little bit bent. Hands are high as though you were holding a great ball. One of those big fitness balls. Take it a little left. And then a little right. Inhaling to the left and exhaling to the right. So steady. From the navel to the feet, stand your ground. And then open side to side. Strengthening at the navel. Rooting through the heels. And elevating from the heart to the fingertips. Close your eyes as you're ready. 16. 15. So only going as far as your body appreciates. It's not about how far you go. More doesn't give you more. One more each side. Upright, arms wide, stand tall. Notice now, notice. That we're stabilizing our experience of our physical selves, creating a foundation, and yet we're freeing the qualities of our mind that create an awareness of more, a higher perspective. Shake it all the way out. A little tap of the heels, hands to your hips. Each tap of the heels will be a har, H-A-R, and this sound and this movement is generative. It's the force of creation coming through you. You were made with this sound. Har. Har, 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 har. So you keep that going. That's your most modified. Come to it anytime you need to. Or begin a little hop. Har, 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 hum, 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 hum. Are you heavy, or can you find a little bit of levity? A little bit of bounce, a little freedom, a little floating, a little laughter. Hum, 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 hum. If you need to slow it down, you got a minute more. If you need to, go back to stepping. If you can, keep it here and see it through. You're building the ability to continue. You're building the ability to bring into your life the things that come to mind that might be challenging. And you're staying with it, not with force, but with levity and freedom and light and sound. Hum, 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 hum. 5, 4, 3, 2. Pause. Big steady breaths. Steady from the navel to the heels, heels lightly in, heart high. The beat of your heart, the strength of your body, the light that surrounds you, the light that's within you. I am this. I am this bright beating heart, this radiant light. And bring it down to your seat. For some of us, being still and consistent is the most accessible aspect of ourselves. And getting moving is difficult. And staying moving, that's the hardest part. And for some of us, getting moving is the easy part, and being steady and quiet is the hard part. This Kriya is known as the foundation for infinity, so that all aspects, moving and still, we are familiar with all that we are. We create a foundation to know our limitlessness. I am a being of great divine light. And you feel that in your body. As we practice Ajna, we access the forehead center, that third eye, that eye that can allow us to see through not just space, but time, to recollect, to project into the future. And this third eye is resting right on the front surface of this prefrontal cortex, this place of imagination, this place of integration. And so as we repeat the Kirtan Kriya, as we repeat these powerful syllables, we're letting the sound move up and out through that space. We're bringing that prefrontal cortex alive. That we are the Imagineers of our lives. That what we believe to be true is perceived and brought into our reality. So let's light that up and let it become accessible and limitless and free ourselves of what we've been. The palms turn open, the thumb and first fingertips touch, and with this touch, we say sa. With the middle finger, we say ta, touching the tip of the ring finger, na, and the pinky finger, ma. Together, sa, ta, na, ma. We'll speak that for 1 minute. We'll whisper that for 1 minute. We'll keep it moving and in our minds without speaking or whispering, no sound, for 2 minutes. Then we'll whisper, then we'll sound. After 10 days, we'll double those ratios, and this kriya will become larger and more significant part of our practice. For now, just feel the whole body is ready, awake, and supportive. The energy moves up through you and out through the forehead center, activating that imagination space, that cognition space, the place that integrates what has been with what will be, with who you are, who you've been, and who you'll be. So palms open, thumb first, fingertips touch. Sa, ta, na, ma. 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 Sa, ta, na. Whisper. Sa, ta, na, ma. 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 Sa, ta, na. Silently. Feeling the fingertips meet with each syllable, feeling each syllable moving through the eye, the third eye center. Whisper. Sa, ta, na, ma. 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 Sa, ta, na. Speaking sa, ta, na, ma. 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 Sa, ta, na. One more. Sa, ta, na, ma. Thumb and first fingertip touch. Turn your palms down, your heart high, your chin lightly in, and notice. Be very still. This is the realm of your higher thinking. This is where you have access to the certainty that you are loved, that you are a being of light, that you are guided and supported at all times. For some of us, this is a new sensation that we could be so steady and steadfast and supported, both from inside, from ourselves, and yet we've attuned to a greater power. And that greater power is holding us. And we feel this alignment between self and source. Soften around it. Give it a moment of intimacy. I am this. I am known, and I know that I am this. And as I am known, I am loved and held with complete acceptance. Let this sensation become stronger and more pervasive than any static or fear or worry. This is your home state. This is always with you. Stay as long as you like, or as you're ready, the hands widen and rise. Feel the crown of your head as you elevate your hands, palms together. Bring your thumbs to your forehead center and seal this in with sound. I am this. I bow to this sensation, this truth. Sat Nam. 8 count Sat, 2 count Nam. Inhale. Sat Nam. Sat Nam, I see myself. Namaste, I see you. Soak in what you've made. Become familiar with this and know that it's there with you all the time. This final sequence of our year of you, really reassembling everything so that we begin to remember over and over, is this a lower level thought or a higher level thought? And if I'm caught in my lower level thought, it's okay. If that lower level thought of anxiety or hustle, insufficiency, unworthiness, lack of confidence, inability, whatever little negativity is running, we just meet it with this higher perspective that says, yep, it feels like that sometimes. And we are still here, and I am still with you, and I am loved. And you are loved. And it will feel painful, and it will feel confusing, and it will feel joyful and spectacular. And yet, however it's going, there is a higher plane that is so consistent. This allows us to feel the ups and the downs very differently. They aren't who we are. They're experiences that we're having. When we go to a movie and it's too flat, we're like, well, that wasn't interesting. We want to go to a movie that has a little bit of a ride in it. And that's what we chose. This infinite soul chose this life that has some ups and downs. It has a little bit of, is she going to pull it off? We're only the viewer. The story, it's okay. Go with the story. But always know you're the higher mind. And you are loved. And you are accepted. And you are whole. I will be back on Saturday for a really delicious, we're building the seat so that this seat gets easy, and then this upright quality is effortless, because that's what holds our minds quiet. So that will be our vinyasa for Saturday, and we'll come back to this sequence on Sunday. If you live in Baltimore, you want to see me in person, come practice at So Botanical. Information's on my website, marthamcalpin.com. And I will see you soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I will meet you in October. Sat Nam.